Clifton Chisholm. You got in touch with me beforehand. Clifton, where are you?
Is my mic on?
It is.
Yep.
Oh, okay. No, I had a lot of fun watching the some of the videos, and we talked about and we were talking about parting tools and thin parting tools and using some saws and things like that. And sometimes I really get too far into the weeds with this stuff, but I had a instructor use a hacksaw to make the parting cut, and I'm going to go with the overhead here. And so here's the hacksaw. Oh, I just got back into some sphere boxes.
Oh, very cool.
So I was just going a little bit crazy, and one of the issues is the parting cut and trying to lose as little of the cut as possible. And one of the things that I found out was, even with the parting cut, and this is a really bad cut with a dull parting tool. This is cherry, and cherry for me burns when you look at it. But one of the issues was the subsurface damage that you had to skim off just to get back to good wood. So with the hacksaw, what I did was I watched the guy do it, and it was nicely done, but there was paint transfer from the hacksaw blade. And if you can see the little waviness of the set, I call it lapping. I lapped it off on a diamond hone to take some of that set off. And what it does is, as much as I really thought that the saw would tear up the wood, and I'm going to see if this is another angle, it didn't. And so when I came back to it, I think I'm out of focus.
No, you're not bad. Are you going to show us this? You're going to demo it?
Well, I can. I just didn't want to take up too much time. But the idea is with making that cut, and I realize that this is going, way overboard and to the nth degree. But I have to take off a good heavy 30-second to get back to clean wood with any of my other parting tools. And with this, using the
see, I'm afraid the teeth on that are going to pull it right out of your hand.
But it doesn't, and that's just the thing. It really doesn't. And with watching that video from last week, it really showed that some coarse teeth. So I do realize with this using this instead of a handled saw, it might seem dangerous, but the idea is I pinned this in here so it can't get pulled out. And this is fairly controllable. Like I said, there's no grab. And then the other part is, if I really wanted to, I could put the tool rest here. So if it did get pulled out and wanted to fling around, it would hit the tool rest. So there is some safety involved. But here's this is to me, the nice part about this is when I go back, and I don't know if I can get a little light on this. I don't know if that helps or hinders. When I go back to make this cut, I'll show you that I am taking off such a small amount. Let me lower this a tad. Anyways, here's my little, here's how much it takes to clean this up.
We don't often get live demos on this hour. This is great.
So you can see how much I'm taking off, hardly anything. And I'm back to clean wood. And so to me, that was the deciding factor. It is not, and you can't, it's just hardly there. There's just hardly a lip that comes off. But as I said, is it necessary? That I'm not sure. For certain situations, I think it is necessary because I'm losing such a small amount of of wood, and that's what I'm after.
Okay,
If I was doing production, it would be something else. I certainly wouldn't do this, but the idea is the hacksaw, lapping off those little outside parts, taking off the paint so it's not there, and that's what I came up with. So I just wanted to pass that on because of the last week's talk of the thin parting tools was really interesting to me. So I wanted to thank you for that.
I want to see if we get any comments on that parting tool before we go into the saw blade is a parting.
Oh yeah,
tool.
absolutely.
Anybody else got anything to say about that?
I didn't notice, was the lathe running backwards since you were underneath?
No. Well, you put the blade in so that the teeth are in the right cutting orientation. So it's like a pull cut, like a Japanese pull saw.
Okay.
The teeth are so you pull it. The only issue I've really had was I tried some exotics that were oily, and that tended to fill the teeth, and I'd have to stop and take those off with my fingers. With dry wood, you just smack it and it comes off.
For clarity, the teeth are pointing away from the handle?
No, the teeth are pointing towards the handle.
Towards the handle.
So when I
Okay.
pull it,
That's how you could do that undercut below the workpiece.
Okay.
absolutely, yes, like a Japanese pull saw. I mean,
Yeah.
when you pull it, it puts the blade in tension. So yes.
Anybody
Okay.
else, or should we say that's worth a try?
Well, yeah, the question is, you really need to take the set out of the teeth, and you have to get to a point where it'll still cut and not bind, but it'll be like almost cutting butter with a knife.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
If you're going to take all the set out of the teeth, why don't you use a Japanese pull saw to start
But
with?
you're not taking the set out of the teeth.
Okay.
You're not taking the set out. All you're doing is taking on each of the, because this is made by a wavy. And could you use a Japanese pull saw? You certainly could. This is $1.50.
Okay.
So, I mean, that has another aspect to it. But yes, you could use a Japanese pull saw. I don't know. I know that the Japanese have different style teeth for different style things. And you can certainly, in the schools I've been to, the Japanese saws are the ones that are most abused. They're the ones with the bent over teeth and all things. So I'm pretty sure, again, $2.
Okay. I'm back.
But it's the results I'm after mostly, is the fact that when I make this cut and I skim such a small amount off, that's what intrigued me the most.
Yeah, I think that's a real good tip. I'm going to try that.
I mean, that was the deciding factor when I need this type of a thing. There's other things I do where I just use it's like a bulldozer parting tool. I'm just going in to get it done.
Okay.
So anyways, that was the fun part. Thank you for those videos, because they really are fun and they help.
Hey, thank you, Clifton.
Yes,
And we'll
sir.
slice this chunk out and make a little video out of it too, probably. Okay, who was it?
Wood shop. Thank God for wood.